Fucking garbage. Let's see if I can reach it. There we go. What up, guys? Total Control 871 here at Camp Evergreen. I try to keep the place clean. It's just a testament to how garbage it just blows, man. It's in the trees and shit. It ends up on the ground. I do my best to pick it up. Unfortunately, you missed one of my neighbors just a moment ago. It is what I can best speculate to be a black rat snake, or perhaps a black racer. I don't know. I did a little research. They say they're non-venomous. I hope so. As the name would suggest, they do keep rodents at bay. Like I say, nature's full of its checks and balances. I have seen it a couple of times before, and the birds usually chase it out of the woods. Obviously, it's in there raiding the nests and shit like that. That's nature, man. It's full of checks and balances. I wanted to give you guys a little look as to what the homeless have to face when we live in the woods. What you may see here. This is a downed tree. Downed tree. I'm running low on my tick spray too. It's a downed tree. I do worry. I do indeed worry about, it's why we try to pick our ground as best as possible. Now here's a hazard I guess you guys probably would have never thought the homeless have to face. What you're looking at is a mushroom. They started sprouting about a week ago. And believe you me, I could definitely tell. How could I tell, you may be wondering? Well, when you live inside of a tent, unfortunately, you do have to battle things like mold and the type of ripe conditions that mushrooms flourish. What's great for them isn't so great for you. That's where I got the trailer. Basically what this means is that the humidity, thankfully it was only a brief period, just like we saw our mushrooms dying. The spores. I woke up, very bad headache, a little bit of respiratory distress. It was obvious that the spores were in the air. They're being trapped in the tent. The tarp, it is retractable, but still, there is no fan. I never did get the fan. What can I say? We're almost at the end of fucking summer, so I'm not going to spend money on it now. Because the air isn't constantly moving, the spores tend to settle. So it can give some respiratory distress. These are some of the challenges that we homeless face. Challenges that you guys probably have no idea about. And that's what I'm trying to do today. Just give you a little awareness. Wake you up to the kind of things that you take for granted in the comfort and safety of your factory-built house. However, in my domicile, there's a number of things that I have to contend with. Insects, invasive rodents. It's kind of why I was kind of happy to see Louise. I have given the black snake a name, Louise. For those of you who know I'm a big fan of A Wrinkle in Time, Madeline O'Lingle's works, yes, I have decided to call the snake Louise. Anyhow, so yeah, we've got some seriously bipolar skies. Cannot make up its mind. Cloudy, sunny, sunny, cloudy. Can't make up its damn mind. So what we look for when we scout out a location, we want reasonably level ground. As far as my camp goes, the next thing I have to start focusing on, I need to get this tent off of the ground, like seriously. It's kind of laughable, but not laughable. Let's see, I don't know if you'll be able to see or not, but let's see if our ground is, I don't know, the ground may have caved in somewhat. A mole or gopher or something of the sort was definitely milling about. They're out here, literally. As I was sleeping, something starts poking up through the base tarp, because I got a base tarp and the floor of the tent and then a tarp on it. It's poking up. It's a fucking gopher trying to come through. You know, I gave it the literally, I whack-a-moled it literally, and hopefully it got the message that not here. And yes, chipmunks, gophers, things like that. Hopefully the snake Louise will be able to keep in check. So nature's full of its checks and balances. Again, it's why I don't feed any of the animals while I'm out here. It's also why I also make sure, like I say, my trash bag stays on the handlebars of the Black Rider, even when it's inside the tent. So I'm out, I don't have to say, oh my God, I forgot my garbage, I forgot my this. You know, it comes with me automatically. Filth does not accumulate. I try to keep my ecosystem here as green as possible. That's what I do, you know. I got to get this tent up off the ground before winter. That is my next task. I need to scavenge some pallets or something to get it up off the ground. Preferably, I like to get it like 6 inches up off the ground, maybe even 8. I don't know. When the snow comes, you know, it can your tent can be like, you know, partially buried in the snow, and it can, like, you know, it can put weight on the walls of your tent. Definitely on our roof. This is the summer tent, though. This is the summer home. And I will indeed be utilizing the winter tent. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can even see or not. Let's see, I'll stand next to it, see if you guys can get some. Can you see I'm holding the camera out as far as I possibly can? I am very much indeed taller than this tent. When I am inside the tent, I'm doing this. I'm hunched over, you know. It's bad for the back. It's rough. There's all kinds of things you don't even think of. You know, it makes it difficult to do a lot of things. Anyway, fucking bugs biting me and shit. The winter tent, it's taller. I can definitely stand up in the winter tent. And what this means, now, we've got some hornets, wasps, whatever. They've kind of been buzzing around. I don't know if you can see it or not. They've been buzzing around this particular tree limb for a while. For the past 2 or 3 weeks. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of tree trimming here. I'm gonna have to get the machete, the serrated edge of it, do a little bit of trimming. I need to create some space here, cause let's see, I'll give you some forced perspective. That tent, winter tent, is gonna be like up to there. And I think, and the walls, they're much more straight. They're about, you know, they're more vertical than our summer tent here. So I need to just simply, this treeage, it's gonna have to come back a little bit, you know, to just give birth some more room here. The base of our tent, this is a 10 by 9. So I think that the width is going to remain the same, because I think my winter is 10 by 14. So we're going to definitely come out some, and that'll definitely give more room. And so we're going to have more room. It's definitely the trailer can fit inside. Everything can fit inside the winter tent. So I'm preparing for winter. That's what I'm doing. Kind of what our animals are out here doing. I'm sure they're getting into their mode for winter is coming. So seasons change, and we take our adaptive measures to cope with that. Yeah. So this is Camp Evergreen. Let's see. Maybe you'd like to see the rear. Like I said, we got I use these type of, they're easy on, easy off. So when the tarp needs to be retracted, I just simply do it from one end. And then I just basically fold it right on back over. And it's easy on, easy off. Don't gotta, you know, struggle. Out here, I step gingerly because I've given him a name, him or her, Ramses. Ramses the frog. And Ramses the frog likes to definitely feast on our insect population that hangs out back here. Unfortunately, I haven't seen Ramses in a while, and I'm wondering if Louise ate Ramses. Nature. One more thing I'll point out about homeless living. Tents are designed a particular way. They need to be held taut. That's why you have to utilize your guy lines. Many homeless will skip this part, and they end up regretting it. See, we keep our guy lines anchored in there, you know. Unfortunately, the homeless will often skip that part, though not always necessarily deliberately. For our urban homeless, with tents set up on sidewalks, parking lots with asphalt concrete, basically. They don't really have a choice. But these tent makers, this is the Ozark Trail. It's our Ozark. They design these tents to be a particular way, and if it's not held taut, then the fabric will become permeated. I used a little of the Gorilla Tape here. There's a tiny little pinhole right there, and I used the Gorilla Tape on the outside and on the inside in the exact same spot. So yeah, the tent has to be held taut, especially. That's pretty critical to its waterproofing attributes. And then also you're going to want to use the silicone spray to keep your tent. You know, the silicone repels water and dirt. The tent's pretty filthy. It's, what can I say? I don't always get out here in time to keep it clean. But hey, it's a summer tent. We're at the end of the summer. So this is what the homeless have to deal with. So what I'm about to do right now, we're about to head out on the Black Rider, and it's time for the mail. That's how I keep some bricks out here, because the Black Rider doesn't have a kickstand. Alright guys, so like I say, I'm about to make a mail run and get the mail, pay a couple bills, and what can I say? That's life here, Camp Evergreen, the trials and tribulations. So there you go. Total Control, 871.